I'm here with my friend Laura, who did the cover of Chloe Diller, by the way. Yeah. And we are doing a book haul together because we bought books and Laura made me buy lots of books.
This was not my fault. I'm not to blame. So
no, she is to blame, but I made her buy fish before that.
It's true, and I prefer to blame Chapters for having so many excellent deals.
Yeah.
On the day that we went shopping.
Yes. So she has some more books than I do, and then I also have some different books than she does because I got some before our Chapters trip. But then we also have a lot of the same books. So maybe we should take turns by showing the books that we each have that are different from each other? Okay. So the first book I have is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I got this at the bookstore in my town that my friends own because my boyfriend was like, let's go to the bookstore and I'll buy a book that I will read. And I was like, that's not going to happen, but okay. So this was the book he picked, which is about people who live on Mars in, like, underground or something, in, like, mines, and they're told that they are mining for resources in order for people to live on Mars in the future, but then they find out that people have been living on Mars for generations, and they're being lied to so that they can do the mine work or something, and then it's about them, like, rising up, the Red Rising, and fighting against the people who are making them live in the mines, which sounds cool. This is technically Anthony's, but I'm probably going to read it. And he probably won't, so...
At least it will, you know...
At least it will fulfill its book destiny.
Yeah. That's right. That's exactly what I was going to say. So, my first book is called Level 2 by Lenore Applehands. I probably said that wrong. I bought it because it was $2, and why the hell not? So, I hopefully enjoy that. It also has a pretty cool cover, so...
Good choice.
That's my whole story right there.
I like it. I got Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion because I recently read The Horse Whisperer and I needed the movie. And it was $5 on Amazon, and then I needed to get extra things to make my shipping free. So I got this, and another book that I have yet to receive. And this is about zombies. I didn't really want to read the book because I had seen the movie, but Books Over Looks, I think she just changed her channel name. But you know who I'm talking about. Talks about this book all the time, and she's made me want to read it, so that's why I picked this one.
Because I'm uninteresting. This book,
why?
When We Wake. No, I just mean I'm uninteresting because I bought it for the exact same reason as the first one, which is because it was $2!
And it's hardcover!
And it's hardcover! And so is this one, which is ridiculous. But anyways, I also picked it up just because it looked really interesting, and I just, you know, $2, why not?
Yeah. The Summer of Secrets by Martina Riley, and it's an Irish bestseller, so that's exciting. I forget what it's about, but it takes place in Ireland, which is cool. And I got this from a book exchange happening on Facebook that I feel like no one else is going to participate in. So I sent out my book, and I only got one book in return, and the whole point of it is that you're supposed to get a bunch of books. Anyway, I got this one.
I still have 4 other books that I bought that Natalie didn't, and toward the end of the trip, I was like, oh, but this one, let's read this one together, and she was like, no, and I was like, I'm gonna get it anyway. So, I did that about 5 times, and Natalie was, you know, had some discipline and didn't buy all the books, but...
I own way more books that I haven't read than you do. I think that was the big issue for me.
My bookshelf is, let's just say, less than a quarter the size of Nat's, so The Doubt Factory. I have no idea what it's about, but it sounds good. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I don't understand, but I know I will soon. But anyways, this is, I think, the last one I picked up when we were at Chapters, and I tried to convince Nat to get it with me, but she didn't, so she'll just have to borrow mine when I tell her how fabulous it is, because I'm sure it will be fabulous.
This is What Happy Looks Like by Jennifer E. Smith, and I got this because I had a horrible, stupid day at work, and one of my coworkers got me a $10 gift certificate to the bookstore in my town, which was super nice of him, and then so I walked to the bookstore, and I got this one because it's about happy, and I was like, well, what better book to get myself with a gift certificate that was meant to cheer me up than a book about happiness. Also, one of the main characters in it has a pet pig.
Okay. Can
you see?
I have
By the Dawn's Early Light. Did you know? For the longest time, I thought it was By the Dawn's Early Light. I thought it was like Dawn's Early was a word, and I thought it was Dawn's Early Light. And then I saw it written out recently, like last year probably.
And you're like, wow.
And I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense.
Basically, when I went to Chapters, I kind of was just, let's spend all my money on new books. And I picked up a bunch of books just because they were really good deals and they sounded vaguely interesting, but I don't know anything about them. Yeah, so it's hard for me to talk about them.
Yeah, there was like a huge bargain section for some reason, that
Yeah.
I've never seen so big of a bargain section at Chapters before, and they were all like $5 and $6 and $2 for some
Yeah.
hardcovers.
This one was $6, so I was like, yeah. It's called Fates by Lanny Bross, and I think it's some sort of mystical fantasy, so it looks interesting. And then we have Picture Me Gone by Meg Rossoff. So I just really liked the cover on this one. I thought it was really neat looking.
I like the cover too.
So
I have this one too.
Nope. Oh, I didn't know you had this one
Yes.
too. There we go. We're into the ones that we both have. So this is Kiss Kill Vanish by Jessica Martinez.
Did I read the beginning of this one? No, I don't think I did. I think it was just a cool cover, and it sounded cool.
It does sound cool. I remember, kind of.
A murder in cold blood, ordered by her father and carried out by her boyfriend. That sounds good.
It does sound good.
Who's this by? Jessica Martinez. Did you say that already?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This one, I've heard of this one on BookTube. Love and Other Foreign Words by Erin McCann.
Yeah, I think McCann.
Yeah. And this is about someone who, I don't remember what it's about. And then she'll probably fall in love with someone, and then she's all like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I have this
Ooh!
one. A Creature of Moonlight.
Look at how pretty this cover is.
Yes, Moonlight, sorry. It is very pretty, and it's all shiny.
And it's by Rebecca Hahn.
Also, I remember when we were in the store, because when Nat and I go book shopping together, sometimes we take turns reading the synopsises to each other, or sometimes the prologue or the first page. So I remember this one being ridiculously good.
Yeah.
And I feel like you should read it.
There are things in the wood, things you wouldn't expect. There's a laugh behind a tree when nobody's around to make it. A flash of red from branch to branch, like a spark from a fire, but nothing's burning. There's a woman dressed in green, sitting alone on a log and knitting something out of nothing, out of leaves and grass and berries, out of sunshine. She looks up and she has no eyes. Where her eyes should be, there are lights like tiny suns, and she's smiling. But I don't know how, because she doesn't have a mouth like anyone else. Not that I can see. There's just a mist all around her head, and those burning eyes looking right at me. I don't stop to talk to things like that. I used to once, before I knew any better. I have goosebumps!
Right? Me too.
Then we got Thin Space by Jodi Casella, which is, I remember this one. It was about someone whose brother died or something, and he's found a way that you can talk to dead people or something. And he has to try and find the way to do it, though, and it's called Thin Space or something.
Yeah, it's like a thin space is sort of like an area where you can pass between planes or something like that, so he needs to...
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I read the first page, and I was like, oh my god! And then she was like, okay, we're getting it.
Reckoning by Carrie Wilkinson.
And I don't remember what this one's about.
Me neither.
But it sounded good, that's why we got it.
Yeah, I remember thinking that it sounded awesome. To go to this castle is like this great honor, but whenever it happens, the person just disappears and nobody sees them again. So she goes to the castle and she's kind of like, is this going to be a good thing, or is this going to be...
Ooh, that would be good. The last book that we got together was the only full-price book that we got, because of a few reasons. Okay, ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Someone's at my door! Okay, I guess just one sec. Hi.
Hello there.
How's it going, Skaggy?
2307.
Oh.
Duties and taxes.
Well,
Oh my God.
he's gonna have to owe me.
Cool.
Anyway, it was Frank, the FedEx guy who comes to Staples. Anyway, we were on our last book, right? Six of Crows.
Yes, indeed.
So the reason I walked over is actually funny, because you didn't know that I was looking at this book already, right?
Yeah, no, I totally didn't. It was
So,
hilarious.
yeah, I looked over because I was like, oh, I wonder if it's in paperback, because it'll be cheaper, and then I won't feel as bad getting it if I don't like it or can't get into it. Because I couldn't remember when it came out. But the reason I was wanting to look at it and maybe get it was because of the way Elizabeth Page was talking about it. The other thing was that it's about a heist in a magical world, and magical heist just sounds awesome. And I was like, oh no, it's still just in hardcover. And I was like, but it's the hardcover one with the black pages, which I know were limited edition ones. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to read it, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. And then I was just over there in that section, and then Laura came up and she was like, oh my god, that book is gorgeous!
It's true. I just came around the corner. I swear I didn't know. It was like right on the top. And I was just like, oh, look at this book. And I like picked it up. And that was like, oh, crap, now I have to buy that book. You know, I was in the mood for spending. I was just like, well, I'll buy it too. And then we can read it together. And then, you know, so we both bought this book.
And we're both reading it.
I'm not going to lie. I don't regret it. It is, it's just really pretty.
It is, it's gorgeous.
I'm only on like page 80 or something like that. I'm not very far.
Once I got to about page 80, it started getting a lot easier to read, and then I just kind of started flying through it. Because it gets really good.
I'm at the part, actually I shouldn't say because spoilers, right?
Oh, maybe we'll stop recording and then we can talk. Anyway,
Yeah, well,
that's our book
after.
haul that we did. Ooh, we have to make a thumbnail! So after Laura and I filmed our video, we went out, and when I came home, my other Amazon book was in the mailbox. So hooray! So I'm going to show it to you. And it was I Will Marry George Clooney by Christmas by Tracy Bloom, which I have no idea what it's about, but it's called I Will Marry George Clooney by Christmas, and so I wanted it. And I'm going to read it at Christmas time. And I really like you probably can't tell, but the writing on it's all bumpy, and it's a very cute cover. It's much cuter in person than it looked online, and I'm super excited that I have it. I'm super excited for Christmas to read it.
Have you read this?
No.
Oh, fuck her.
Why? What's it say?
So Leigh Bardugo is the author of the New York Times best-selling Grisha trilogy. She was born in Jerusalem, grew up in Los Angeles, graduated from Yale University, has worked in advertising, journalism, and most recently, makeup and special effects. These days, she lives and writes in Hollywood, where she can occasionally be heard singing with her band. And look at her!
Yeah, fuck her.
Right? I read that, I was like,